We'll have our Chief Minister joining all you guys for the interaction. So we have asked him to join you guys. You can have all the questions, whatever queries you have with Chief Minister especially, that would be. We'll start our press conference with a video that we have specially made for you guys. There are two videos. There's one who will actually explain, and then there is a file.
Imran Khan called for peaceful protest.
And then after this there's a file which we'll also share with you. In that file we have number of injured people, their MLCs, their CNICs, their addresses, their pictures. These are the people who were injured on the. So please start with the. If you allow, we'll start
Imran
with.
Khan called for peaceful protest on November 24 on 3-point agenda. That is, the 26th constitutional amendments abolition, the restoration of the constitution's mandate, the release of political prisoners. Before the protest, a curfew-like situation was created in the country. On his call, people from different parts of the country marched towards Islamabad in the leadership of CM, KPK, Ali Amin and Imran Khan's wife Bushra Begum. Roads were blocked and law enforcement agencies were deployed on the borders to prevent the rallies from entering Islamabad. However, the public overcame every obstacle and eventually reached D Chowk on 26th of November. The Interior Minister threatened to open live ammunition on unarmed demonstrators using their right to protest.
हमारे लिए अभी भी रेंजर्स के पास कितना देर लगती है कि हम वहाँ पे 5 मिनट फायरिंग हो रही है तो उसके बाद वो बंदा नजर नहीं आएगा.
At the midnight of 26th November, electricity supply was cut off on the surrounding areas of the D Chowk and war-grade ammunition was fired on the protesters, resulting in several deaths and injuries. Shocking footages from the ground show the paramilitary forces directly hitting the civilians. Senior Pakistani journalist Hamid Meen testified in live ammunition.
इस दौरान इतनी शदीद फायरिंग और इतनी शदीद आंसू गैस की शेलिंग हुई है कि मैंने इस्लामाबाद की तारीफ भी नहीं की और मुझे ऐसे लग रहा था कि मैं लेबनान में हूँ या फलस्तीन में हूँ या मैं अफगानिस्तान में घूम रहा हूँ.
So far, 12 gunshot fatalities have been confirmed, while 139 individuals remain missing, leaving the total death toll uncertain.
आपका मतलब ये बहुत बता सकते हैं उसके बारे में? गोली लगी है पुलिस की, छारा लगा है या बुलेट लगी है? रेंजर्स वालों ने कहा कि
पुलिस की गोली नहीं लगी, हमारे सामने से किसी बैठे हुए थे उसका से
कहाँ पे आके लगी है गोली? गोली किधर लगी है उसको? और मौके पे डेथ हुई है या हॉस्पिटल में आ गई?
Mubin Malik from Ahmedabad. Sardar Shafiq Khan from Dera Ghazi Khan, Muhammad Ali from Char Sardar, Ilyas Farkzai from Kohat, Imran Abbasi from Haripur, Abdul Qadir from Ahmedabad. Tariq Khan from Sheikh is providing correct information. Investigative journalist Matiullah Jan reported that 26 dead bodies were brought to the hospital by night of 26 November 2024.
हमारे पास जो डॉक्यूमेंट है ना उसमें एक सीरियल टाइम वाइज आते हैं पेशेंट्स, तो उसके अंदर भी बहुत सारे पेशेंट कंट्रोल नंबर मिसिंग है और इस बात का इम्कान है कि जो डाटा हमारे पास है वो सिर्फ धरने वालों और एहतजाज के लफ्जों के बारे में है.
Matiullah Jan was later abducted from the parking lot of the PIMS hospital where he was investigating the fatalities and injuries. Several international media outlets reported about this crackdown by police and paramilitary forces. Al Jazeera reported about the use of full force from the state to clear the protesters.
They're using live assault rifles, that is a Kalashnikov, AK-47, they're using, as you can hear that, They're using automatic fire, and they're also throwing in tear gas. As you can see, the fighting is now very close to where we are, and we of course have to move in there for our own safety.
The Islamabad massacre is stark reminder of the urgent need for accountability and justice. The PTI has filed a petition in this regard in court and demands an independent and transparent probe into the massacre by foreign judicial commission. We call on to international community to pay attention to.
Aman, can you share that file, please? I think this is the file where we are sharing the information of the injured or have been killed. We must share their CNICs. Have been asked by the government again and again. We will also share this file with you guys. Yeah. Injured, as we have mentioned in the petition, but we are still collecting data on people from Punjab and Balochistan who basically did not stay. Thank you very much, guys. I'll give you a little overview and then we can open the house for the questions. Please. Total missing that we have mentioned in the petition is 139 people. And but the list is not final, it is still evolving. We keep getting informations, and after we shared this data with court, somehow people who were missing suddenly appeared, few from the jails and few from the police stations. And that was also one of the objective to share this list with the court, because we don't want people to stay missing. We want people to appear. So, and hopefully, people who are missing, presumably dead, because they have not appeared, they have not reached their houses, nobody knows about them, where they are. So, we hope and expect that they are all alive and they all will be appearing, no matter how they do. But as long as they appear, it's good. If you'll allow me, I'll just I'll explain few things. One of the things that why this call for the protest was given in the first place. Our leader, Mr. Imran Khan, who is unlawfully detained in Riyala jail in fabricated frivolous cases, had given a call of protest with three main objectives. The first was the release of all political prisoners who were unlawfully, illegally detained in frivolous cases around Pakistan, and the number was in thousands, especially our women, and especially our main leaders who are in Lahore, like former Governor Sir Faraz Chima, our Punjab President Yasmin Rashid, is an elderly lady, cancer survivor, Senator Ijaz Chaudhary, the request of whose protection orders has just been submitted again in the Senate. It's been a year and a half that he has not been allowed to attend the Senate sessions. Mia Mahmood Rashid, the former senior minister, and thousands others who are in different jails in Pakistan. So the first and foremost objective was the release of all those political prisoners. Second was the return of the stolen mandate, because we believe that our mandate was stolen on 8th of February, and the people who have formed this government were installed are the production of Form 47. And the third was the reversal of the 26th Amendment. So basically, these were the three objectives for which we marched towards Islamabad. And marching Islamabad and protesting is a right which is given to every Pakistani in our constitution. Peaceful protest is our right. Peaceful protest is a right of every Pakistani, and it is given to us by the constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom of movement, these are the rights that we have. And exercising those rights, we marched towards Islamabad. We intended to hold a sit-in in Islamabad, reaching D Chowk, and these were the three objectives. This is a brief background which basically led to these calls over during last few months, because it was not first of the mobilizations. It was one of the last mobilizations that basically call was given by Mr. Imran Khan. There were attacks on democracy, there were kangaroo trials, false cases, victimization, attempts to exclude PTI from politics by stealing the elections that I've just mentioned. History's biggest fraud on the public mandate. You can see the system of peaceful transfer of power. It was destroyed the way it was done. 2/3 majority was converted into minority by stealing that mandate. What happened on the day of election, after the election polling was closed, what happened? Formation of governments through intimidation. You see forced press conferences, forced defections, deprivation of reserved seats, deprivation of the representation of Pakhtunkhwa in Senate, refusal to implement Supreme Court, full court decision. Avoiding rigging investigations, we have been demanding these investigations for long, but so far no response has been given by the government or the Election Commission, keeping tribunals virtually ineffective. What is happening in tribunals, especially to the candidates of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, is self-explanatory. What happened in the case of Adil Bazai, the guy who basically submitted his affidavit of Sunni Ittihad Council, but it was not entertained, and they basically entertained an affidavit of their own choice, which was of PMLN. And you can see what Supreme Court has done in their decision. Division of Judiciary by the 26th Amendment. We hold this opinion that executive has basically attained effective control over the constitution of benches and over the judiciary through this amendment. So these are few of the things which basically became the cause of setting these three objectives and giving a call for 24th March towards Islamabad. The history of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf as far as the peaceful protest is too long. We have been peacefully protesting for last 27 years. Peaceful movements against General Musharraf's rule, the arrest of Imran Khan and sacrifices during the restoration of judiciary, peaceful sit-ins in Waziristan, post-march against drone strikes. You guys would remember, most of you guys basically covered that. Historic 126 day sit-in in Islamabad against the rigging of constituencies in Pakistan. Historic legal battle over Panama leaks. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Nationwide peaceful election campaigns for 2013-18 elections, nationwide political activities after the regime change operation. So we have been protesting on all the forums available to us, but we have been peacefully protesting against that. Thousands of public meetings, rallies, processions, sit-ins. At the end of the day, we are a political party. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf believes in the peaceful protest. We are not militants. The government is trying really hard to portray one of the biggest, actually the biggest party of Pakistan. They are trying to portray us as militants, but I'm sorry. Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is the biggest political party. They are not militants. They are the promoters of the peace. They always peacefully protest. One of the historical See, there was assassination attempt on Imran Khan in Wazirabad on November 3rd. Again, after this assassination attempt, there was no violence. We protested peacefully. And it's on record. A massive gathering on Murray Road on November 26th peacefully dispersed after the assassination attempt. Nobody tried any mischief. Again, it was our right to protest peacefully. The largest armed attack on the country's history on the residence of the political leader at Zaman Park for 30 hours on March 14th remained peaceful despite cruelty and bloodshed. Appearance in court in Islamabad, March 18, Imran Khan survived the trap of death with thousands of workers, prevented chaos, did not call for any violent protest. Again, we dealt with this attempt peacefully. Workers were provoked, but still the leader gave only one call, and that was a peaceful protest. Objection on 9th May High Court attack, nationwide peaceful protest, led to the false flag operation. And we are still demanding a higher-powered judicial commission to probe that. We have still been asking about the CCTV footages, not the footages that have been released in small portions of few minutes. We actually have been demanding a CCTV footage of the whole day of all the main places that have been mentioned in that false flag operation and have been basically being mentioned again and again. Demanded a judicial investigation, but again, still not heard. Everything has been done. CCTV footages disappeared. The judgment of Justice Amir Farooq is in front of the nation. The Supreme Court decided and basically declared the arrest illegal, ordered the release, but till date the real culprits have not been arrested. Afterwards, forced the voters' abduction of the statements and Istikam party, the party which was basically made out of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, again forced press conferences, defections, hundreds of fake cases, arrest of thousands of workers. Who else could have been alleged PTI for tarnishing the peace of the country except the unscrupulous, malicious, and corrupt official mafia imposed upon the country through that stolen election? All these political miscreants together cannot claim the sacrifices the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has made for the country, its democracy, its constitution, and its judicial system. Just after the false flag operation on May 9th, we, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, claim that we are the guardians of this country's democracy and its constitution and laws and traditions and public sovereignty. The attitude of the government nationwide after the protest was threats, bullying, oppression, closures, obstacles, fake cases, attacks on the Federation, police, ranges. In Punjab, CTD, special branch, law enforcement agencies, or God knows who, where and what, but anybody that they could use, they did. This is what happened. Invasion of the misleading and hateful propaganda. Lot of fake news every day. We have been responding to so many fake news in the last few days that you can't imagine. Every day is like a sort of a factory of fake news that they'll just come and it is very sad that without confirmation of the facts, there have been leading channels in Pakistan who have been running it, then you again say, you give a rebuttal and then they are fine with it, they'll also run that, but they will not bother to actually see if these are factual. Planning of the bloodbath. See, the account of the massacre, I'll just keep it brief because I would like that you guys would have many queries. I will just keep it brief. This is the darkest chapter in the history of Pakistan when unarmed civilians and citizens were fired upon by their own police, and they were killed without any fear of accountability and any sense of humanity. The way they were killed, the way the bullets were fired, the way that guy who was on the container praying, he was kicked off the container. There was no humanity. I don't know what went into these guys. Snipers were deployed. Who uses snipers on their own people? Who uses urban snipers on their own people? And why use urban snipers? Getting to the D chalk was our constitutional right. There was this PTI specific law which was passed a few months ago. If our youngsters, because Pakistan is young, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf's main following and the majority of people who was marching towards D chalk was young. And if they were violating any law, which we don't think so, because we don't think that that draconian law should be should have been in place, our right of protest, our right of freedom, our right of speech, this is given in the Constitution, and courts have to defend that right. Who will give us safety? Who will secure that right for us? So if those were youngsters were there violating any law, they should have filed the cases. And when they would have filed the cases, courts would have decided. But in which law? Just protesting and reaching D chalk, who gives them authority? Which constitution, which law gives them authority to fire on their own youngsters? Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has always upheld the supremacy of the constitution, has always upheld the supremacy of the rule of law. And we maintain that it was a peaceful protest fired upon by the snipers and all the guns that they used. Hundreds were injured and deprived of the medical treatment. They were rushed to the hospitals. Hospitals basically refused them treatments, pushed them out. Hospitals were cordoned. People, because of the fear of their arrest, most of the people did not go to those official hospitals, namely PEMS and the polyclinics. People rushed to the private hospitals. Most of the people, youngsters, with the fear of arrest, they left the city injured. So we are still collecting that data from different districts in Punjab. We are still in the process of collecting data in Kerala. You would have heard that there was this dua being performed in a mosque of one of the martyrs, and the police raided that mosque and then filed FIRs on one of the family members. Here there's this one martyr in Pindi Kotli, Satya, he's resident of Pindi, but Anish Sati. His family has been harassed. Their house in Kotli, Satya, was basically partly destroyed. There are people, masked men, deputy running their houses. If anyone goes to condole, you can see people in the mask roaming around and, writing their reports. Who knows, special branch, CTD Punjab, or security branch. The bodies were concealed. An attempt was made to convert deaths into accidental deaths. The case of Sheikh, 3 days they did not hand over the body. And they were, finally when they did, it was from a Pindi hospital saying it was an accident. It was not an accident. It was a bullet wound. There is a video on the spot when he was shot and the people were taking him to the hospital. But still they pushed. Actually, all those who came to the hospitals to claim the dead bodies were told that they will not be given the certificates unless the cause of death will be of their own choice. Postmortem were refused. There was one postmortem who was performed in one of the hospitals. That's because a lot of people from the family of the martyr gathered there They pushed the doctors and the police. They had to open the mortuary, unlock the doors, took their bodies out, forced the doctors to do it. Then police was there, then forced the doctors. Still, even after the performing of the postmortem, they did not give them the official postmortem reports. Rather, they wrote the report on a white paper. So the family of Anis Sati has gone to the court to get the official report of the postmortem. So one postmortem performed and still no official report was given. I mean, where in the world this kind of inhumane thing is done by the doctors? These doctors work for the same government who basically fired those bullets on these kids. These police officers, why we have not been able to lodge these FIRs? Because these are the same people who fired bullets on us. And in an Anis Sati case, they have gone to the court with the petition of 22A for the filing of the FIRs. All those martyrs and their families, they are being harassed. Their families are being harassed. They are being told that there will be cases on them. They have been told that their life will be hell if they go to the court, if they go to the police, if they try to file the FIRs. This is what is happening in the Qaids Pakistan with this installed government. Hospital records were altered, discarded, false information was entered, pressure was set to the hospital management. One of our IDF doctors and 2 male nurses were arrested when they were trying to get more information to the hospitals. We got them released after 3 or 4 days. Then you have this on record. There were senior journalists who were trying to gather more information from the hospitals. They were arrested and frivolous false cases were registered against them just to ensure that they don't speak and they don't ask for more information. Citizen property was looted, cash, valuables, mobiles were looted. Where in the world police force or the rangers start damaging the property? Which law gives this authority? I don't see any law in Pakistan where the police or the rangers are allowed to actually thrash and damage and destroy the property which was left by the protesters when they were forced. See, when these protesters reached Islamabad, they were ready for the tear gas shelling. They knew they are going to Islamabad. It has been happening for the last 3-4 months. The number of mobilization, they had been facing these tear gas shellings, stun grenades, rubber bullets. So all those youngsters were ready to face all that. But what they were not ready was for the live ammunition, for the live bullets. They did not, we did not expect that this government will order shooting at their own people, firing live ammunition at their own people, the youngsters. And then there's an impression, and this is very important, and I think it is important to mention here that they say that because they crossed D Chalk and they were trying to enter Red Zone, that's how and when the fighting started. No. The first protester who was injured with a bullet wound was on 24th on CPAC Road, when there was obstacle and stoppage at Dawood Khel and Mia Khel was removed. Those convoys which were coming from the south of KP, between Asr and Maghrib prayer, the first protester was fired upon and shot in the belly. He was taken to the hospital. And then people were shot. If you take all the videos, many people who were shot and killed were before Red Zone. So this narrative, well, the government says not even a single bullet was fired, and they were trying to build this narrative with their own aligned people in the media and in some talk shows and some press conferences. But thanks to the Deputy Prime Minister, who has come from firing no bullets to the aerial firing. And hopefully that aerial firing will prove over the time in the courts of law that that aerial firing was not just aerial firing, that firing was aimed at the innocent protesters. Then there was another senator, Afnanullah, who said on the floor of the House that he felt sorry the way the bullets were fired upon the protesters, though he was blaming us for getting to that situation, but at least he accepted that there was bullets fired on our people. This is how this narrative that they were trying to build, no bullets, and they have been pushing it every day in all the presses and all the talk shows. Where are those martyrs? Who was killed? Where is the CNIC? Everything has been presented before Pakistani media, even every day. In all talk shows, we have done 2 presses. Life has become so difficult for our people that even on the floor of the House right now, out of the 94 members of the National Assembly, you would only see 15 or 20. Most of them are facing these frivolous cases all around Pakistan. I was assigned to stay back in Peshawar to coordinate with the media and the managed information and all that. I have got more than 18 plus cases or 26 registered against me. Even that the Rangers accident case has been registered against many of us, including me. Hundreds of peaceful, innocent, patriotic Pakistani left for the protest in those caravans. See, later in that afternoon, government goons, especially the cabinet members that we have already fixed the responsibility on in the petition that we have filed in the court, the government's rumor mongering and information cell began to bully and threaten again. One of that we have just shared with you. But then there are many, again, if you go in the talk shows, they have been literally threatening everybody. Police, Rangers, FC personnel had already cordoned off the areas. See, why we say the number of deaths is a lot more than what we have confirmed is the way they again cordoned off the area after 26th. They stopped people from entering there. There was activity, ambulances, vehicles going in and out. Nobody was allowed to go in. So we are confirming that, and it will not. The way these missing people have started appearing, we think the number of deaths is a lot more than what has been confirmed, but they will not be able to hide it for long. You cannot hide these deaths for long. You cannot. The media was removed. You can see I've just mentioned the case of Matiullah Jan. A night before that 5 minutes vowing that we have just shared with you. I'll come to the future action plan, then we'll discuss. The blood of martyrs demand justice. Pakistan demands justice, and inshallah we will get justice. We will not rest. They can victimize us. They can file hundreds and thousands of cases against us. Until the day the last supporter of the PTI remains, we will not rest. Our kids will get justice, and we will get justice, inshallah. A high-level judicial investigation inquiry has been demanded again. It should be conducted, and those responsible for the massacre of Islamabad, they should be brought to justice. Proceedings should be initiated by registering cases which are being denied right now to us. Postmortems. It should be against the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and the cabinet members which we have duly nominated in the petition that we have filed in the court of law. All missing persons should be recovered and released. Again, I would say that I pray that they are all alive. If they are being held somewhere, it's not on record. If they have been held by CTD, special branch, or any other branch, we demand their release. Detained Pakistanis should be brought before the courts, and efforts to distort the justice should be stopped. So there's this new tradition of people being released by the courts, and then, as you saw last night in Islamabad, in a case, there's one ATC judge released PTI youngsters, but then there's a police from Punjab and the other districts who came to re-arrest them, despite the fact that the judge had already given instructions that they will not be re-arrested, but they were policed to re-arrest them. So this injustice, this fascism will not stay longer. These 12 martyrs, these death of youngsters, these missing people, their blood will bring change, and that change will be soon, inshallah. Again, I say we will not rest till our all unlawfully detained prisoners, political prisoners, are released, and those who have been killed will get justice. Thank you very much. I would open the house for the questions if